Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Bovin. Anyways, now we're here in Michigan, obviously, and now we've got some guests out from Montana, and it's snowing here, so I kind of feel like we're in Montana in some way, because I feel like it just never stops snowing in Montana. But anyways, the group text. Anyways, so we all know how I don't like doing long, drawn-out intros, so... And personally, I don't like listening to all those codes and visit this place and that at the beginning of the show or the podcast episode. It's just more like, just do that shit at the end. I just want to get diving into the show. So we do all the codes and all this other stuff at the end of the show. So make sure you tune at the end of the show to listen to some discount codes. Anyways, today, it's Sunday. It's Sunday, January 19th. Holy shit. Tonight's guest is the Bull Mountain Brothers. We're excited to have them on the show. If you're unfamiliar with the show, we do a live show every Sunday and Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays, we kind of do a roundtable segment where we talk about whatever we want to talk about and bring a guest on, and we just talk about basically whatever the fuck we want to talk about. On Tuesdays, we dedicate it to a state, and then we answer all the questions, ask all the questions we need to learn to learn more about that state. We also call this the Electron Campfire, the People Show. So I'm a little far-fetched right now because I'm just reading some of the group text messages right now and I'm just losing my fucking mind. I should be paying attention to the show. Anyways, if you have any comments, questions, or anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comment section and we'll pop them up during the show. If you ever want to be a guest on the show, we never say no to anybody. Feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms, or you can go to our website at www.whitetailadvantage.com and submit your request through there. Also, another thing with our show is we say what we want. We don't care what anybody has to say. We want to say what we ever want to say. We don't care what people think. We don't care about the fake woke culture that we live in these days. So if you have a problem with it, basically fuck off. Anyways, we also have a saying on the show, put your quarter in the slot machine. I strongly mean by that is to help share the show. That's all we ask. I strongly believe hunting is a dying sport. It's a dying lifestyle. So all we ask everybody out there watching is to help share the show. Oh, now I see. So my wife texted me saying on the message right there, it says, we say what we want. I'm an idiot. We say what we want on this show. Man, no wonder why she's the grammar expert and I'm not. I'm going to be teaching my kids grammar and math. If she's still watching, yeah, she's going to get a kick out of that. Anyways, enough of me rambling and jibber jabbering. We all know I can't stand me and chit chatting. So let's bring everybody on the show. And now
what's going on, everyone? How's it going, everybody?
I don't know what it was. I just cannot say words in this intro.
Too much tippy cow, buddy. I'm telling you, man. You started too early.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you're watching this or listening to this, you gotta try tippy cow. It's fucking amazing. Speaking of that, I'm gonna take a sip right now.
If you got hair on your testicles, don't do it.
Well, I mean, my three favorite things is eating my family and bad punctuation.
Real quick, so we have the Bull Mountain Brothers. We got so wait, who all is there with you guys? Because I know when we talked before the show,
it's just the two of us right now. We can get there's four of us total. We can get Maddie in here if you want, but
get as many as you want. Whole part of your team,
whatever you guys prefer.
Yeah, we can text him to come down here. Just my name is Riley. This is my actual brother Ramsey. He runs the ones and twos over there.
I'm the producer guy.
Can you guys do background about yourself before I kind of show a video on our show?
Are you cool with a long-winded answer here?
Yeah, bring it on.
So I guess the only way to explain like who we are is like where we came from, I guess. And I want to say, come in when you want, Ramsey, and help me not leave some holes out of the story. But
you will.
I know. I want to say it was 2021. Does that sound right? Am I already on the right path?
Very end of
2020. I don't know. Well, you guys were all during the, trying to figure out what we're going to do during COVID times, and a lot of time spent at home. And there was just one day where Ramsey and I were, we lived together. So we were just sitting around watching TV or something. And we're like, hey, like, let's do something. We've been lifelong, him and I have been hunting since our dad could take us. Right. And it's kind of a passion of ours. We definitely, I have been a hunting guide in Montana for
5 years now.
4 or 5 years now. Like, it's obviously just something that I want to make a lifestyle out of. And so we're like, we can talk, right? We can shoot the shit with anybody. Let's start a podcast and let's put it around the idea of, and I love that you guys talk about the electric campfire. That's really a big point of view that we do. It's like literally sitting at the cabin around the fire, talking about anything, right? Anything and anything, because we've always believed there's so many people that have amazing stories, right? Because a lot of guys listen to podcasts and they get a lot of, celebrity people that are in the, in the limelight, and they just tell the same story over and over and over again. But when you get to talk to real people every day and hear stories, like, you get to hear some of the crazy shit that you'll never hear anywhere else. So that was kind of the premise of what we did. And I want to say, I think for my birthday that same year, my parents were like, here's a podcast thing. Like, they bought it on Amazon and it was super dinky. And like, I love them to death if you're watching, but, so we set up a little studio in my corner office and we kind of dinked around with it. And it was just one of those deals where you're like, am I really going to commit to this? Am I going to whatever? And then our good friend, Sean Morris, Shawnee Boy, also known as the movie guy, Sean Morris, he hit us up. Man, I have to say, I'm going to tell the story as it was. You and him were hammered
at a bar,
and Sean called and he said,
I don't care what it takes.
I want to be part of this.
I want to be part of this.
And we're like, we don't have a clue what the hell we're doing, but let's do it. And it was Christmas Eve of that year. We had our first podcast. It was a complete disaster. Sean was on his way to Washington and had to come back because we totally messed up the entire recording. So he ended up getting to Washington at like 4 a.m. We got it out and we decided it was fun. Right. And so we're like, what do we want to do with this? And I'm sure you guys have the same kind of deal, Brett, especially you. Like, am I going to make a hobby thing out of this, or am I going to make something else out of it? Right. And we were kind of doing the hobby thing for the first 2-3 episodes, and we had a little bit of traction that was, it's nothing. I'm not going to sit here and say there was anything. It was enough to be like, hey, maybe we can turn this into a company or something. And I reached out to Ramsey, and I have he's really just, how would you say, he's become like an older brother to us over the years, Matt Schaff. And we said, hey, we don't know 2 shits about business. Like, what can we bring you on as a partner? And he got wrapped into coming in on the podcast too. And before you know it, we're building a studio in his basement. Right. And I guess you could say we kind of threw all of our eggs in one basket and built the studio before we had anything that was worth a shit. And so
we put the cart in front of the horse for sure.
We put a studio build on a credit card, and here it is today. We've had it we just lost a shed, just flew across the room. But anyways, this is year 4. I want to say this is season 4 of us, and we've been doing it ever since. And we've been doing a lot of crazy things along the way. We really like to do, we do our podcasts and stuff. So forgive me while Ramsey fixes this real quick. I don't know if Ramsey can pan down or not, but we have kind of a cool little desk set up in here. Yeah. But, mainly what we're doing is the podcast, right? We were doing Fridays, at 2:00 Mountain Standard Time every week. And then things got busy. And over the last couple of years, Ramsey and I have really shifted into, what would you say, Rams? Like the behind the scenes kind of stuff. We really are in love with doing video editing and
more of the filming the hunts over, the podcast.
Yeah, we don't find that we need to be in front of the camera all the time. Like I don't want to starve the world in my face, but at the same time, like, it's just a passion of ours that's grown over the years. So that's more of what we've been doing. And so, kudos to you guys. I think it's awesome that you're able to put out multiple live shows every week. That's a lot of dedication. For us, we're still trying to do 1 episode a week, but it's relatively turned into about 3 or 4 episodes a month in the end, and so like, yeah. And again, we're shifting our focus into subbing out social media work. I don't know. Like I said, video editing, Ramsey's a really good camera guy. I don't know. That's just what we do nowadays. And, behind the scenes, Matt is in charge of special projects. We've been doing raffles for a couple of years where we tag with a nonprofit and we buy it. Like, we've done 3 turkey hunts and we've done 1 deer raffle. And we go to an outfitter, purchase a hunt, and then raffle it off, and then give part of the proceeds we've done Starlight Foundation for veterans, Out of the Darkness Walk, suicide prevention, and what else? Was that it? Right now we're doing Warrior Wishes of Montana, another veteran-based company. So yeah, we like doing stuff like that, just helping the community and just having fun. We're not going to sit here and say we're experts in anything. We definitely have a lot of really cool opportunities, and we definitely make hunting a priority. But at the same time, we're just here to have fun. That's why it's fun to get on here and talk with you guys.
Yeah, and I think not being an expert, like you guys are saying, is more relatable. It's like how we are.
Everyday people, man, who just like to hunt. That's it.
We relate. I think we relate more with just the average guy because we're just the average guy. We don't get paid to do none of that stuff.
Maybe one day, but yeah, we all have normal jobs. I mean,
yeah, so do we. We all have full-time jobs during the day. It's hard, and to do this at the same time, I'm sure you guys know that too. To like try to dedicate time for the business and for the other life. So, but even in Brett's intro, he talks about, we do what we want. We're not gonna shy away from anything. We are everyday guys showing everyday stuff. And I think what's really cool about that is you meet like-minded people, right? And so you have a lot of fun doing this. I can count on the top of my head just guys, Trev, East Coast Trev, and the Outdoor Drive podcast. We met them. That's a fun one that we've been with. Got to meet the Belchers out of North Carolina, South Carolina, one of the two. Shed Pursuit, a lot of people that are up and coming, young guys, 18, 19, 20-year-old guys that are trying to make something happen in the hunting industry, just like we are. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot of fun to just meet like-minded people.
It's also awesome to see that you're actually out there doing something for the community as well. You see a lot of these pages or channels, whatever you want to call it, just kind of out there doing videos and podcasts, stuff like that. And they're talking about it, but not doing anything about it. You're out there actually doing something for your community and trying to help with the hunting community as well. And on top of it all, with the veterans as well. We have some projects in the works, like right now, kind of. We're not going to release that information just yet, but we're going to be doing something similar to that. And it's awesome to see that you guys are doing something about it, or like you're out there proactive, trying to increase hunting in its own way. So it's very awesome to see. And like you said, we're very these 2 dipshits here, they served in the military, and I can't say thank you enough for their service, but it's awesome to see that you're out there doing stuff for veterans as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say it was really cool when we were talking the other day, you were talking about how you were a police officer for a bit. That's awesome, man. When I grew up, I always thought like my sole purpose on life is to make a difference in the world. And we're doing it this way. You did it that way. That's really awesome. That's something I actually always want to do, but never happened for me. But yeah, I just think that if we can have a company where we can make a difference in our community, that's just as important as us making money, I guess. I don't know. That's just where I've always looked at it.
Well, one thing here, so we all know, speaking of first responders, we all know what happened out there in LA with the fire, but there's somebody in particular with the LA Fire Department. I have a video here and I want to share it. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but I'm just going to share it. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to play the video first, and then we can make our stupid comments after the fact. Man. Yeah, it's not good. I can say that. It's not good.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's kind of part of the whole job is you risking your life to save somebody else.
Exactly. My thing is, there's two parts to it. First off, she says, like, I want them to look like me. I don't give a shit what color you are or whatever the case may be. I want you to save my life if I'm in a fire.
Now, could you imagine if someone like me, though, was coming in to save you, Brett? All right. Not you, Brett. Dave, I'm coming into your house, right? Your house is on fire. I come in to rescue you. I just see all the deer that you have on the wall. I'm going to stop and look at them. And then I'm like, dude, those are nice deer. Everything's like going up in flames.
I'm in flames.
Yeah, we're changing that story. Dude, what's the story behind that one?
The hell with saving me, save the deer.
Yeah, you guys saving the mounts in a fire? What's going on there?
Right? That my guns.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, where's
my
your
family, guns, and then all my hunting stuffs. That's in the order. Everything else can burn.
Yeah, because the bow's coming out with me for sure.
Oh, yeah, that'll be on my back.
The fact that she makes the comment, well, he's probably in the wrong. He was probably wrong if I had to go in there and say, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I mean, they
Save his fucking ass.
Drop down and crawl out. I mean, but hey.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If somebody's coming in, I don't care whether you're,
I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. If you can wheel me out, I'm thankful.
Exactly. Yeah, if you can save me, however you get me out of that house or building, whatever, and I don't care what color you are, what sex you are, you're in shape, out of shape. I don't give two shits. You saved my life. I fucking love you.
If you can grab one or two of my mounts, even better.
Exactly. I'll pay you on the side. Hey,
I was going to say there'll be a tip for you.
Listen, I have 180 class deer in there. Grab it.
I got about 60 guns I need you to haul out. There'll be a big tip for you.
Oh, it's yours to cover them.
I'm going to make sure to put a sign on my, like, I'm going to have a shirt that says on top of me that says, save the mounts over me.
Kind of like a DNR tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Nice DNR tattoo. Yeah. Put it right on my forehead. Save the mounts.
Yeah. So Ramsey lives with me, and if fire happened at our house, I'd be fine. I could walk straight out because all of the mounts in my house are from Ramsey, and I don't know if that's a tall tale sign about me or it's a bigger sign about Ramsey. But I'd be good.
I'd be good.
In the right spot at the right time. That's all there is.
I do want to point out, I just noticed what's on John's name.
Yeah.
Make fun of golf and tippy cow.
I was thinking about that. It says, let's make fun of golf and tippy cow.
For anyone that doesn't know, or if this is your first time tuning to the show, I love tippy cow and I love to golf. So it's a jab at me.
And if you're listening to the podcast right now, underneath our names on the screen, you have an option to write a little caption. So I change mine every once in a while. I think the last few episodes, it was the Chuck Norris Apprentice. Mm-hmm. And today I was going to quote some perfect one-liners, but I'm limited to like 150 words or whatever. So it's like, that's made fun of golf and tippy cow. Because why not?
Dude, forgive me, but what is tippy cow? Forgive
Brett,
me.
Elaborate, please.
Let's just take a quick second to elaborate, people. Tippy cow is the most finest established drink on the world. It
For
is
people
amazing.
not listening to it, or people listening to this not watching it, it's like a shamrock shake with an alcohol content of 3%.
14%. First off,
and at the end of the episode, Brett will start slurring his speech. Turn a little bit redder.
Is it like alcoholic milk?
I was gonna say just drinking Curly City milk over there.
Yeah.
No. So if you've had rum shada
from a drunk cow,
tippy cow is very similar to tippy cow is very similar to rum shada, and tippy cow has only 4 flavors. It comes in shamrock mint, vanilla, orange, and chocolate.
Orange does not sound appealing whatsoever.
Orange milk, right? That sounds horrible.
Orange sounds not the best, but we've actually mixed some at the golf course. We mixed vanilla, mint, and chocolate.
The fact that you got a whole bunch of dudes doing this is just shameful.
Yeah, we did. We're fucking.
You're supposed to drink beer when you golf, man.
We drink beer, but we also drink the tippy cow, and we're like mixing the stuff up and stuff, and it's just amazing. We call it. One buddy called it the utterly disaster.
Clever.
That's a clever name. But after a few of them, you should see him try to drink it from the udders. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Then he wakes and realizes those aren't udders on the cow.
Brett, we only have bulls here.
I think that's a bull.
Let's get to some comments here, and we'll dive into actual hunting and stuff like that. First comment here, Flavors of the Forest. Hello, everyone.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Flavors?
They never comment. What the hell are you guys talking about? LOL, Tippy Cow. Yes, Tippy Cow. Fucking amazing.
That doesn't mean Nelson likes it. That just means you don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's delicious. What's up, Flavors? And then they go on to say, "What's up, bitters?" Yeah, no.
So
Flavors
you had the first comment,
guys.
Anthony Jarecki. Him and I were in.
From
together.
Anthony Jarecki. What's up,
Yep.
boys? Have a great show tonight. Love you, Johnny.
Dude's amazing. We're planning a hunt down in Texas where he lives for some access deer this summer. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, let's start off. You want to do this segment? Let's start off with your John, your segment.
All right.
You kind of created it, so you take control of this point.
All right. So this is a new segment that we have now. We've all Dave knows. So you have that classic game. 3 people, you need to marry one, have relations with one, and then kill one, right? Well, I changed it up.
Have relations? What are we talking about here?
I'm not going to swear. We got to keep it kind of PG here for our younger clientele here. But I came up with a hunt, fight, and befriend. Okay. So you have to hunt one, fight one, and befriend one. Brett, you're going to go first. Okay. I'll just go in order here.
Okay.
All right. We're going to have 3 rounds each. So Brett, the first one, an orangutan, a golden eagle, and a man-o-war jellyfish.
A fucking jellyfish. So I'm befriending the eagle.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight the jellyfish.
The most deadly sea creature.
And yeah, I'm gonna fight that one, and then I'll have relations with the chimpanzee.
Well, you don't have to have relations. You just befriend it, dude.
No, he wants to have relations.
Yeah. No, I befriended the eagle.
Okay, he's still stuck on if he's have to have relations.
Yeah,
with
Brett's
him.
gonna fucking orangutan.
I'm fighting this 3.
Like he needs something more orange than him.
I befriended the eagle. So
Yeah, you wouldn't fight him. It'd be like fighting family.
Right? All right. All right, here we go. Dave, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Your first round. A prairie dog, a hyena, and a lion.
Definitely a clear winner on the lion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
right?
Yeah. I definitely
Have
prefer the
relations.
lion. 'Cause I ain't trying to fight that damn thing. And probably kill the hyena. And what was I forgot what the other one was.
Have relations with a prairie dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do that. At least I wouldn't have to do it more than once because it'd probably die.
More like a talk at that point.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
All right, now for the Bull Mountain Brothers. Now I got both of you guys on here, so if you guys both want to do it, man.
We can tag team it.
All right.
Ramsey
So
can actually do
round
the
one-
searching, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So
let's
round
get
one,
involved.
a Kodiak bear,
Oh,
a
Jesus.
caribou, and a saltwater crocodile.
How come they get the cool ones?
Hey, there's 3 rounds each, brother.
They're the guests. Shut up.
Oh man.
We're befriending the Kodiak
Yeah, that's gonna have to fight
Killing the
crocodile.
and killing the caribou.
No, relations with the caribou?
No, killing it. Stop with the relationship. Come on.
Have
Play
a
the game like it's supposed to be played here.
Yeah, you have it as a pet. How's that sound?
Which
Yeah.
the caribou, I want to kill it. We can eat the caribou.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Use the bear to obviously kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When he becomes friends.
There we go. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Brett,
Good answers.
you ready?
Give me some fucking good ones,
We
man.
got a gerbil.
All right, here's Brett's good one right here. A beagle,
What the fuck?
a baby sea lion, and an otter.
In a turtle.
The most boringest creatures on the planet.
For the most. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, I have a beagle,
a baby sea lion,
a beagle, a baby sea lion,
and an otter.
and an otter. I mean, I have to befriend the otter. I mean, that motherfucker's cute as shit.
So beagle's not cute, dude.
The baby sea lions, not cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to slaughter one of them, okay?
I'm slaughtering the sea lion, and then
You'll hunt the beagle.
I'll hunt the beagle.
Yeah, turn it into the hunt. Turn the hunter into the hunted.
Right?
Sorry,
All
Squatch. That's his favorite animal.
I know, right?
Yeah, he just crashed his plow truck because you said that.
Just turning it around and driving to Michigan to kill you.
Squatch's favorite, his best friends, his dogs are beagles.
And you just killed it.
I just killed his dog.
All right, Dave, ready?
Yeah. Oh shit.
Uh-oh. All right, so you have a porcupine, a badger, and a hippo.
Oh god. Well, I'm killing the hippo. Oh, I'll befriend the hippo. I'll kill the porcupine then. And then oh shit.
Well, it's fight or hunt.
Hunt, fight, kill.
Yeah.
No, hunt, fight, friend.
Oh,
hunt,
hunt,
fight,
fight.
friend.
It's much easier, much simpler for us.
Yeah.
Less minded.
Yeah. Man, I would like to hunt a hippo though.
Right?
They would probably taste better than any of the other ones.
I don't know, man. I've always wanted to try porcupine.
I've heard it's pretty good though. So yeah, I definitely got to befriend the hippo because I ain't trying to mess with that.
Yeah. But a badger?
Yeah, I know badgers are badass too, but hippos, I just don't want no part of a hippo, man.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we'll do that.
All right.
Now
You
it's
ready,
your
man?
turn.
We've got
I'll do
an
this
electric
one.
eel, an orca, and a giant river otter.
I feel like hunt the river otter. Definitely befriending. Wait, say the three again.
An electric eel,
Electric eel.
an orca. and a
Definitely
giant
befriending the orca.
Yeah.
They're organized killers.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
playing around with
Sea
that.
wolves right there.
And then I have to fight the eel. I feel like size to weight ratio, I might have a chance. I don't know.
You could beat it to death with a stick, at least, possibly.
Right? See, that's why I did it. Because if you're going to fist fight it, you're done.
For some reason, my
yeah.
mind went to the Step Brothers scene where he's talking about tuna and how.
Oh God.
Oh, that was on the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the other guys.
guys,
That's what it was.
yeah.
My bad.
Did that go the way you thought it would? I don't think so.
I don't think so. It might take me a while, but I'll develop a breathing apparatus out of kelp.
I'll cut and I'll
Is it
kill
hundreds
the
of
whole
miles?
family.
No. But a couple miles away? Sure. It's possible. Oh,
All right.
shoot.
So here's the final round. Brett, you ready?
Yeah, Squatch isn't mad at me for picking the beagle. He said it's all good.
Yeah. Wait till they get together.
Right? All right, Brett. A bighorn sheep, an ibex,
Hmm.
and a gemsbuck, or an oryx. Same difference.
Hmm.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Now you give me some good ones.
All hoofed creatures.
Yeah. All that probably tastes good.
And all would
Yeah.
look amazing on the wall.
That is true too.
Did you say Ibeck? I feel
Yeah.
like I want to befriend that one.
Oh, see, I would have to hunt that one. When I was in
it's
Afghanistan,
a tie between hunting that one or fighting it.
I would want to fight.
I mean,
fucking
hunting
any
it
of
or
them.
befriending it. It would be a tie between hunting or befriending one of them. I'd have to say, I want to hunt the bighorn, and then the Ibeck. I feel like I want to befriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you'd fight an oryx.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're wrong, but hey, whatever.
It's my answer. They're not fucking
Yeah.
wrong.
You're still
Dude,
wrong.
I've traveled the world. When I was in Afghanistan, my primary operation or primary mission was to shoot a fucking ibex sheep. Like I told anyone I was on patrol with, I was like, dude, if I see an ibex, I don't care if I'm in a sniper hide for 4 days looking for one dude. If I see an ibex, I'm gonna have to let it go. I'm gonna drop one, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But that's me. All right, Dave, you ready, man?
Yeah.
This one's a little bit harder.
He gets a chippy, a squirrel.
Dude, close. He gets a chimp, a gorilla, and a dolphin.
Oh, he gets a dolphin. That's easy. Those are easy.
Yeah, I'd probably hunt the gorilla or kill the gorilla. Befriend the, what was the last one? A giraffe?
No, a chimp, a gorilla, and a dolphin.
Oh. Yeah. Hunt the chimp, kill the gorilla, and befriend the dolphin.
Okay. Now, the one we've all been waiting for right here. You guys ready? For the
That's all
deck,
you.
a honey badger, a tiger shark, and Whoopi Goldberg.
We're hunting Whoopi. I don't know. What do you think?
The right answer.
I just, political views aside, I don't think I could befriend Whoopi Goldberg. So she's either getting fought or hunted.
Fought. Might be more fun.
That would be.
I don't want to hit a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Finding a tiger shark seemed. I
don't want to fight a tiger shark.
No.
Yeah, nope.
Hey, do you think you could take a badger?
Well, you could hunt
If you
badger.
could, I would rather fight the badger. I think you could get behind it.
Yeah.
You just stay away from the claws and the teeth. You're good. So you fight that one. You hunt. They would be fun to hunt a tiger shark in all legality.
It would.
And then what am I left with here?
You'd have to befriend
you have
Whoopi.
to befriend Whoopi Goldberg.
Sorry, start over. I guess we're befriending the tiger shark and
Fighting Whoopi Goldberg.
and yeah.
Dude, that would be funny.
I mean,
that would be
What if I
so
came on
funny.
here and just like I want to be Whoopi Goldberg's friend? What would you guys think?
yeah.
Wouldn't, yeah.
There's a curveball for you.
Right? I mean, it would definitely. I mean, you did on the
It's
show.
an option. It seems like a cop out on answer.
Well, if you befriended her, I don't think we'd really care because you're hunters. So,
Yeah.
Fair. I like
I
it.
mean, hunters stick together.
Oh,
That's true.
absolutely. Plus, not to mention, if you were to befriend Whoopi Goldberg, she's got quite a bit of money. I mean, she might be able to get you on one of those hunts if you're a really good friend with her. Be like, hey, let's
True.
go on an afternoon safari hunt, you know?
Donate a bunch of hunts to some people.
That's right.
There is
There's a lot.
logic going into this, right? All of a sudden,
Yep.
Right? Now, I'm even
Yeah.
thinking, I wanna
You could
try that
raise your
first.
fees way up.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, Whoopi, you got to come up with about 150 grand for this hunt.
Yeah. Just make the check out to me though. I'll
Yeah,
get it.
just
right.
make a
That's
blank check. All the money will go to proceeds.
And then, don't be your friend anymore.
fair.
Yeah.
So let's.
All right.
Yeah, let's get back into hunting.
That's right. Back to the show now.
So you guys are out there in Montana. You
Yes,
guys
sir.
got
No,
grizzly bears
Great
out
white.
there.
What'd you say? I missed it.
You got grizzly bears out there in Montana, correct?
Yes, sir.
And obviously we can't hunt them here in the state of Michigan, not state of Michigan, the U.S.
I was like, dude, we got grizzlies here.
I know, right?
I fucking love grizzly bears. I don't know what it is. I want to hunt a grizzly bear one day before I die. How often do you guys come in contact with them when you're out there hunting?
So us personally, and I'll say my piece, and then you can say yours.
Yeah.
We hunt in like. So right now, I'd say we're in Billings, Montana. I don't know if you guys are familiar with where that's at, but it's more lowland Montana,
Okay.
right? And so most of the hunting we do, and I'm gonna be straight with you. I try to not hunt with these grizzly bears, right? And so a lot of the stuff over here, there isn't or hasn't been grizzly bears in it yet, whether it's our low-lying mountains down here or anywhere. But there is within a couple hours of us for sure. Well, actually,
I would say if you were to take the state of Montana, right, and just turn it into a perfect square, if you went pretty close to the center line, west is where you're going to find grizzly bears. Everything east, you're going to see some, but it's uncommon.
Yeah. And so like when we talk about archery elk hunting anymore, I hunt relatively close to here, whether that's north of here, east of here, whatever. But if I don't draw I put in for a special draw tag for archery. It's relatively easier to get. That's why I put in for it. If you're end up hunting as a resident in Montana, you can hunt most Forest Service stuff like that. All Forest Service, you can hunt elk in. Otherwise, you have to draw for a bull tag, right? So if we're put in that situation, then there's really nowhere you can go to avoid grizzly bears. It's just how many are there, right? If you get closer to the Bozeman area and then start heading west, it's some nasty, scary stuff. I've done some hunting over by Ennis, Montana, and I've gone hunting with them, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, there's like big time grizzly bears here," and you're like, "Oh, thank you." But most of your like stuff you see where people are like getting attacked and stuff is pretty much couple hours west of here, and then to the Idaho border.
Okay.
Man, that is so wild to think about.
Do they manage the population there? Because you guys can't hunt.
No, they're pretty much in like, trying to make them as prominent as they used to be, quote unquote. Now, I will say, I can't quote the article for sure. I just know a headline that I've read a couple of times. Wyoming is trying to do something with grizzly bears. If someone wanted to look it up, where they take them off the endangered species list, which would in turn, propose some sort of hunting seasons once they're off an endangered species list. I don't know where that's at right now, but I have seen something about it. And if the dominoes were to go in the right direction, you would start seeing other states, I would assume, try to do the same thing. Because for most people that I know that do hunt in grizzly bear country in Montana, just like wolves have become a major problem, major problem.
That next,
yeah. The grizzly bears are too much.
I have seen some articles on the Fish and Wildlife page where they've been trying to do more recovery aspects of with grizzly bears and trying to like see if we can create a season for them. But the shift or the wave, as far as I've been reading, hasn't been really as effective, maybe, or it hasn't been put into place, but they're really close to trying. They think that with the recovery steps that they've been trying to do, it's close, but they're just not quite there yet.
So I have it right now on the Wyoming Fish and Game Commission voted unanimously to hunt 22 grizzlies in Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks for the 2025 season. So you can put in for a draw to get.
There you go. That's even.
I think one of the biggest problems in Montana is having two major national parks between Glacier and Yellowstone. People are coming into Montana to see grizzly bears.
Oh yeah.
So kind of like the wolves, you're going to get a lot of anti-hunting backlash with taking the grizzlies off the endangered species list and actually hunting them.
Yeah, versus Alaska, where people are definitely getting murdered. By like here, it's
they have a legitimate problem. It's not. I mean, you rarely 3 or 4 times.
But as a hunter, I mean, we had a guy on that's a guide out of central Montana, and he did hunting over in the same area I was talking about. And you're talking every time you go out, you're having grizzly bear encounters, right? That's showing that there's a high population of them, and it is. I said, I do my very best to avoid areas of grizzly bear possibilities. Now, again, they're moving in just like we have wolves here in the prairies. That's how far east they've moved. I live 30 miles north of Billings, and we're in sagebrush antelope country, if you can picture that.
2 weeks ago,
there's wolves.
So they migrated down.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I mean, they're and we do have a season for them though, which is good now. I mean, that's another thing we don't have to worry about.
It's an over-the-counter tag.
You can't trap wolves in Montana, but you can get an over-the-counter tag and hunt. And I believe most places have a quota. I haven't done it myself, so I did get a tag this year. Actually, we were out elk hunting and could have had a chance, but didn't get close enough. But I do believe there's quota stuff. But
wolf encounters.
Every resident can go. I think every resident can go get over the counter wolf tag. But
do you guys get? I mean, I still want to talk about these grizzlies and wolves out there, but excuse me. Do you guys see a lot of protests with wolf hunting?
Well, and it's going to be like anything you guys would see. It's going to be on social media, right? It's going to be on your Facebooks, your Instagrams. You're not going to see people out in the public doing some sort of large protest. Does it happen at the Capitol? For sure. But most of everything we see is what you guys probably see too, and that's just people getting on. If a Fish and Game post, you guys could get on and see any Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks page on Facebook or something like that. You might have someone that, a lot of opinions are going to be had.
Yeah.
But the consensus, I would say, with most, and again, I live in a lesser like liberal area. Would you say it's more of a conservative area?
For sure.
You don't really have a lot of problem with it. When you go to certain other larger cities in Montana that are more liberal, they're definitely going to have different views on it. But I think the large consensus in Montana is that we have brought the wolves back,
and now they're an issue.
And now they're more of an issue than they are, losing them kind of deal.
Yeah,
I heard it's kind of the same thing out there.
We're here.
Like they brought them back, and now they're there, and they're kind of being a nuisance, and they're trying to fix the problem, but they have so many backlash, and they can't do anything about it really. And I think with grizzly bears, I mean, I don't know the numbers or the statistics of it all, but I think they need to have a season. I mean, like you just brought up earlier, Alaska, there's a plethora of them. I mean, fuck, there's a whole separate island in Alaska where they go there. It's called, I can't remember the name of it right now. Kodiak Island, and go there to hunt them. And I think here in the lower 48, we need to have a season for them out there, out west, because even if you hunt like one a year, maybe, like I said, I don't know the numbers, so don't quote me on it, but I think there needs to be maybe a number once it becomes official and they get off the endangered list or whatever the case may be. Because I mean, look at wolves. They're flourishing out there in their own way, and now they're becoming a nuisance to everybody out there. And God forbid you shoot one and everyone thinks you're a murderer.
Yeah, I think that's always going to happen with any predatory animal. I mean, even look at stuff that you've been able to hunt your entire for many years. Even mountain lion, people definitely have a problem with. Bobcat, mountain lion, any predator, people for some reason take them in light of, they're like a teddy bear, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they see the Disney version of it.
Yeah, like what? Like I'm curious, what do you guys think? Like, what is it about these creatures? I mean, these are ferocious creatures. I mean, let's just look at the bears and the wolves. The bears, in my opinion, the most majestic and most ferocious creature out there, and it's a killer. And I mean, outside of the polar bear, we all know about the polar bear, and wolves. They're my favorite animal, but I know that they need to be hunted for specific reasons. And for people to see that these things are actually out there freaking killers, but someone hunts them and then they're like, oh no, they're cute little teddy bears, and they're so cute. No, these things are fucking animals, man, and they will rip your face off. They don't care if you're out there to hunt them or they're out there to take pictures of them. They see you as meat and they will eat you.
Yeah. And well, they have to manage them to a point just because they'll decimate everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, like in the UP in Michigan, the deer population has just been down to nothing. The wolves are so prominent up there now. They've just taken off. We had a hunt here that wasn't that long ago. And then they just took it away and was like, yep, we're not doing that no more. And now I know they've crossed over. And they're in the northern part of the.
Yeah, they're in the northern area of.
Yeah,
and
they're south of the UP now.
Yep, they're up in Pelding and Trailing, coming down south.
Yep.
For anyone that doesn't know, when he's saying UP, it's a term that's used here in Michigan called the Upper Peninsula. So obviously in the Michigan we have two peninsulas: the Lower Peninsula, everything underneath the bridge, and the Upper Peninsula, obviously everything above the bridge. So if you
or the trolls, as they call us, the trolls.
Yeah, they call us trolls, you assholes. That's very mean.
We're under the bridge. Under the bridge.
It hurts my feelings.
Well, I think, and thanks, John, for looking it up. I think that the Wyoming deal and finding out that it's more further ahead than I even understood is a stepping stone in directions, like I said, to open it up for other states. And the other thing that's going to open it up is when you start seeing grizzly bears in populated areas, it's inevitable because when you don't kill them, they have no natural predator. They just reproduce and then they outgrow their area and whatnot.
And one thing that a lot of people that don't hunt, it seems like they have the hardest time comprehending is the best way to manage a herd is hunting.
Yep.
They don't understand that you have to kill to protect or harvest to protect.
Yeah. Conservation is such a foreign topic to people who don't hunt.
Yeah. Yep.
And they think, oh, you're just going to go out there and slaughter these animals. Well, no, that's not it.
Yeah, if you don't manage it, there just won't be enough food.
Well, look at the photo I sent you. Look at the photo I sent you guys. I mean, it's hard to share photos on this platform, but there was a photo that I saw where I think it was 3 coyotes or wolves. I can't remember, but they were eating a deer. And the deer was trying to live. Like they were biting its ass, and it's just bloody everywhere. There's just blood everywhere, and I can't remember what the comment or the caption of it said, but it's basically like, for everyone out there that thinks that us hunters out there just killing and murdering these creatures and thinking it's this worst bad thing, look at these creatures. There's photographic proof that it's 10 times worse.
Well, let me ask you guys this. As hunters, and honestly, we can make it as deep as humans, sorry to make it a little morbid, but you guys are veterans and whatnot, and you guys are all we're all adults here. A lot of people don't understand death until you see it, right? And as hunters, you see death and you understand death a lot. And when you can't understand death, it's idolized in a way that, it's not as, when you can't see something, when you don't see the whole process of something either getting killed or harvested or whatever you want to talk about, it's not in your head as a concept. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of people, it's a lot more sensitive, I think, than,
if you were to take somebody out to go say, hey, oh yeah, you like to eat steak. Well, here's how this cow was raised and then put down and then processed, right? And it's all these machines and it's driven from one farm to the other and then now to the slaughterhouse. They're not going to want to eat a steak. But then you look at us as hunters, we go out and we'll harvest an elk or a whitetail or anything like that.
Yeah. And exactly.
Yeah, the quality of the meat, the respect that we have for the animal that we harvested, it's completely different than a guy on an assembly line putting a bolt in a cow's head, sending it through, put another one, send it through.
Yeah.
I mean,
and even think about like when you're out in the woods, right? You guys probably I heard you guys before we got on the podcast. You're making hunting plans. You're out there. Sounds like every weekend you're trying to do something in the outdoors. When you log that many days in the outdoors, you're going to see stuff, whether it's whether you created it, right? Whether I killed something or not, you're going to see death and you're going to see the hardships of the outdoors, whether you like it or not. So that's why we see a different perspective than anyone else. You come across dead animals, you come across, watching an animal kill another animal, you see hard stuff, and it's just the reality of life. And a lot of people, I mean, we're part of 1 to 5% of the world that gets to see that.
Absolutely. For people to sit there and think that an animal is going to die of old age in its natural habitat, it's
very uncommon.
Maybe 0.5% that will happen. It's going to be torn apart by some predator. An injured elk is going to be walking around, and a wolf is going to tear it apart.
Yeah.
Or a grizzly's going to get it. Or a white.
It's definitely getting hit on the road. How often does that happen?
Yeah, and even on the other perspective is you see people that won't hunt and they're against hunting, but you'll see them out fishing. They don't see that fishing the same way. I mean, you'll sit and look in the dock and there's 15 bluegill flopping around suffocating.
Oh yeah.
But and then you're the murderer, because you're out shooting.
I want to put an arrow through something. I don't want
fishing is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you guys mostly hunters and fishermen as well?
Yeah, I grew up doing everything. Small game, fishing, inland, rivers, lakes, turkeys, deer, bear,
If it's in season, we're after it, brother. That's all.
Yeah. I feel the same, anymore. We're pretty much, bow hunters and fly fishermen, but I feel you there, and I think it gives you a good perspective on everything that goes full circle, and that's why I like the.
Well, that's one of those. Have you seen the interview with Steven Ranello where the anti-hunter is telling him how bad it is to shoot deer, and he says, "With all respect, I guarantee you, I know more about a deer than you ever will in your entire life." And he said, "I respect that deer 10 million times more than you ever will in your entire life."
Yep,
and it's the truth.
Absolutely.
I mean, for these people out there,
more respect for an animal than an anti-hunter ever will in its entire life.
Well, the vegans too, they don't understand what the vegans, like that video Ted Nugent did.
Yep. I was just going to mention that.
To raise a field of straight vegan, grass-fed, or corn, whatever, beans, soy, they got to murder the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
And, every animal, even the little bunnies, squirrels, birds, everything. They got to kill everything so it doesn't eat their money. Basically, they're eating their money.
Yep.
And
they think, we're all heartless killers. Well,
yeah.
I'm more about the kill than the guy standing in line with the bolt hitting the cows in the head that you're eating your $60 steak at.
Yeah, and I can promise you, the more tears have come from my eyes from animal death than, you know what I mean? Not to be
Oh yeah, it's a respect thing. It's a respect thing that you have.
Well, let's look at it what it really is. These people, they go to the store, they get their meat, they buy everything right there at the store, and that's all they got to see. They don't see everything that happens basically on the back end. Let's call it what it is. I mean, they're not seeing these animals getting massacred basically or gutted and all this stuff. They're not seeing that end of it. They're seeing everything right there at the store, and they're thinking everything's all lottie down. They basically just appear there in the store. They're like, tell
me if I said this word right. Desensitized, is that right?
Yeah, it does. Yep. Death desensitizes you if you see it enough.
Did you think your grizzly bear conversation was going to get here, Brett?
No, I didn't. But that's what I love about what we do here. We say what the fuck was.
We never know where we're going to end up, man.
Do you mostly guide for elk then, for archery?
Actually, no. Most of what we do, and shout out Two Leggins Outfitters, Hardin, Montana. Give Matt Schaff a call. I wish I could give you.
He's going to be down here at some point.
Yeah, he'll give you his number. But no, we actually mainly do mule deer. It's the thing about Montana is it's a lot harder.
Speak of the devil.
It's a lot harder to draw elk tags as it is, and it's actually getting progressively harder when you put in for and Matt is here, so he could probably speak better on this. But what I'll tell you is, from what I know, out of staters, right, are going to be your 95% of your clientele as an outfitter, right? You guys probably have the same thing up there. Most of your people are coming from somewhere else. They want a new experience, right? And forgive me, my camera is going to get a little messed up here for a second.
You're good.
Yeah.
And so what a non-resident has to do is they have to put in for a big game combo, right? They have to draw that just to shoot deer and elk. Now, if they want to shoot a deer and an elk when they come down here, they also have to put in for a drawing to shoot an elk. So mainly what we do is deer hunts down here. If we're lucky to have someone draw for elk, which we love to do, that's what we do as well. We also offer antelope hunts too. If you draw another hard tag to draw where we're at, and then anything that flies, we do. We have. I'm going to tell you right now, the place that my outfitters lease has quite possibly a top 5 turkey destination in Montana. 100%.
Wow.
It is it's become one of my favorite things to do. Is I always tell people it's like mini elk hunting. And sorry, we're still here off the camera here, but there we go. Here, Matt's here with us right now. So yeah, mostly what we do is mule deer, and then again, that's being attacked really every day in Montana. Not really attacked. This is a very sensitive topic in Montana right now, is mule deer, because we're having and the truth is on the table. There is a problem with mule deer management in Montana. We're at a low, and we're having low mature buck populations. We're having low populations of does, and people are having a hard time finding them in the first place. So Montana's proposing a lot of really crazy laws that would honestly be very detrimental to what we do. But there would be ways to definitely get around, offering different hunts for other stuff. But right now, if you guys ever look into something, there is a mule deer problem in Montana right now, and there's a lot of legislation that's looking at it. So
they're looking to probably just cut it out for a while, just so the herd can gain back.
Well, there's several different options that people have offered. One being where you draw a tag. Well, first of all, they go to a draw system, which right now, as a resident, and it's been my entire life, probably been Matt's entire life, you can go to the store during hunting season, you can get an over-the-counter mule deer tag, buck tag, and shoot a buck in almost every region of Montana, right? There's some that have been draw for a bit, but it'll go to a full draw system where you have to draw it. Once you draw it, you lose your privileges for 3 years, right? You can't 5 years.
Yep, 5.
And then the other day we listened to another one where it was like, they're going to let you choose whether you want to shoot a whitetail in Montana or a mule deer. And they're in 2 different seasons. Right now, mule deer season goes from about the 3rd week in October to Thanksgiving weekend. they're going to change it to where it would be like a 2 or 3 week season starting in the middle of October and go to like November 1st. So what do you see that they're cutting out? The rut.
Yeah.
Right? So they will no longer be able to cut or hunt mule deer in the rut, which again, that's a lot of this stuff is very debatable, right? And a lot of people have different views on it, but there's a lot of stuff that, I agree on some of it. And, we can be out, we're on the woods, right? Like I said, I can tell you guys are out there quite a bit. Us, when we're guiding and we're hunting, we do a lot of hunting, man. We're in the woods for anywhere from 50 to 100 days in a year, and maybe even more. So, and Matt especially, I know you did 8 straight weeks in the fall.
I'd done 97 days straight without coming home.
Yeah. So when you're out there seeing that, I can say, yes. Have I seen problems with mule deer? Yeah, probably. But it's my goal, if there was anyone in the state listening or whatever, would be let's address it by district, right? Because, where we're hunting last year, some of the best mule deer hunting I've had in years, right? But if you go across a couple rivers up the north, there's nothing to be found. So that would be my thing for mule deer is but make it district specific.
But I honestly think they need to do the like we have a branch bull, you can't shoot bulls unless they're branched, you spikes, and I honestly think they need to have a mature buck deal for mule deer. I mean, it's got to have so many points and so many inches.
Yeah.
Like an APR type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys have.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just wondering if you guys had a whitetail regulation.
Whitetail's as easy as it's going to get. You can get that same over the counter tag, and there's no drawing anywhere.
There's no antler restrictions.
Most people, honestly, in Montana aren't really hunting whitetail, and which is crazy because there is some phenomenal whitetail hunting in a lot of places. Just
shocking.
Yeah.
Well, when you got elk and mule deer and that there's a lot of other places people can go for whitetail.
Oh, right.
I feel like
if you're going to go out to Montana, like you have the plethora of everything to hunt.
Well, I remember back in, what was it, the 90s, early 2000s, maybe? I can't remember who it was. There was on the Outdoor Channel. They always go, I think it's the Milk River.
Yep.
Down in Montana, and just huge bucks and just deer everywhere.
Yep. And I think they're one of the places that are having a problem right now.
Yeah, and I'd say, from what I've heard is from like the middle line of Montana up is just suffering severely on mule deer. But back to the whitetail, like I'm sitting here right now, I'm 20, I'm going to be 30 in a couple months. I've never shot a whitetail in my entire life, right?
Holy crap.
So, which is, I mean, I've hunted them. I'll tell you, I don't mind talking about this, I guess. One of my two bow, I mean, we'll have this. We'll have, as a bow hunter, you're going to have lost animals, right? And it's one of the top things we have to deal with. I shot a pretty good whitetail.
Pretty good. Monster.
Like
a 180 whitetail.
Like 2 or 3 years ago, the same day I shot my first bull with a bow, which is crazy. And I lost it. But other than that, I've never even had a chance to shoot a whitetail. So that shows you most Montanans really are just mule deer hunting. And Ramsey, you've never shot a whitetail, right?
I also on the same property had a chance at a monster whitetail.
And but Matt, I mean, you've shot whitetail for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
the thing is to drive around in a pickup, you're going to see mule deer, whitetail. You see them, they're gone. You have to sit in a tree stand.
So if you got a guy that's like hunting one weekend, the guy that can just get out with his kid for the weekend and they just drive around BMAs and stuff like that, it's pretty. There's another factor that goes into
if it's a 4-point. It's a monster on BLM. I mean,
a lot of people,
them kids are shooting spikes and 2 points.
Yeah, and adults too. I mean, that's the thing that people will really argue with mule deer management is a lot of people are going out and shooting whatever's out there, right? Whatever size, which that's their hunt, it's their tag. They can do whatever they want. I'm not gonna. You do what you got to do. But a lot of people, we're talking earlier about this. Do you hear protest? Do you hear whatever online? That's what you're going to hear is people are, and a lot in Montana from the core, you have a lot of Montana pride people. And so they don't like a lot of non-resident stuff. Luckily, we get to see a different perspective with guiding. You know what I mean? It's definitely beneficial to our economy. It's beneficial to a lot of things. Also, it allows me the ability, if I want to go to hunt whitetail in Kansas or something, you should be able to come to my state. We're all Americans, right? But that's a whole thing. But the biggest thing is like a lot of Montanans are like, non-residents are coming and killing all of our deer, right? That's a big thing that's out there too.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I have a comment here in the it's a question in the comments. It's for you guys from Bitterroot Reaper. Bull Mountain Bull Bros. When can I expect those mule deer changes? I want to bring my 2 boys and daughter hunting. We all have 1 point.
It'll be years.
They'll definitely draw
back to Fort Peck.
What I'll tell you right now is it's in legislation right now, so it could be
1 year, it could be 5
3 years out on this mule.
Like it's in the works right now. It's not a thing where it's like in 5-10 years are we going to have some changes? Maybe it's like been progressively pushed right now. So I'd say if you're looking to do something, I would do it sooner than later, because it's going to turn from needing 1 or 2 points to draw big game to probably 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, for deer, they should get it with 2 points.
Currently, I'm down the road would be.
Yeah, I had some good buddies from Georgia this year. They had a cabin up in that Fort Peck area, and they didn't draw with 1 point, but this year they both drew, and I took them out hunting this year. So I mean, usually it's 2-3 points that'll get you drawn on that.
Yeah, super tough. I mean, Montana is just one of those places. Like I said, they're very proud. Which I'm a proud Montanan. I'm a diehard. I'll never leave the state. But most people are very proud of what we have, especially even the state. So it's harder now with legislature to get tags for residents more than it ever has been. I'll tell you right now, when I started bow hunting when I was
15, 16.
So 15 years ago, you could go and you could get, again, so as a resident, I can go get a sportsman's license, right? They lets me have a general elk tag and general deer tag. Some upland birds, some stuff like that. It's just a combination deal. Now, like I said, with that elk, you can go hunt Forest Service or whatever. But as a resident, there was a time where I could put in for an archery tag, and I'd get every single year.
Well, in the beginning, they were over the counter.
Yeah, so there was
the very beginning.
Yeah. For the first 10 years, I bow hunted. That's why I bow hunted, is you could hunt all archery and then still go rifle hunting if you didn't. Yeah. They get something archery.
And now it's to the point where as residents, Matt and I both have this issue. He didn't draw 1 year and I didn't draw 1 year. And it used to be you could draw it every single year. And you didn't used to be
the first.
Well, and that's like my rifle tag. 13 years it took me to draw the tag, and I finally drew it this past hunting season.
So I guess what I would say is, like, if
the archery was definitely the way to go.
If you can get in with an outfitter, they can get you better ideas and get, at least have a place for you to hunt. I'm gonna tell you right now, Montana is not the prime place to come to anymore, in my opinion, as a non-resident. It used to be, but it's becoming, honestly, people compare it to anything, it's becoming Colorado, right? And it's just gonna be a point where, even as residents, we're having trouble getting tags. So I don't know. If I was a person answering this question below, probably
sooner rather than later.
Because we always look at stuff too. I mean, hunting's becoming a rich man's sport. Really, it really is. And if you're going to get out and do stuff with your kids, I'd do it sooner than later, because just the way things are trending, it's just going to be tougher and tougher and tougher. No matter where you go.
Made a comment here. Okay, cool. We have points for next year. Another one said, from Bitter Reaper. I had a great hunt in 2023 up there, and it was a bucket list for me since 1983.
Man,
very cool.
Montana, I remember a couple years ago when I was looking to kind of go out west, I was like, where do I want to go? It was my first type of hunt. And I was like, Montana. I was like, number one, because it's just majestic, and grizzly bears, the threat of grizzly bears, I guess, maybe you kind of want to go out there. And it just seemed just kind of easy, if I remember correctly, of being able to buy things over the counter for people. And I love that fact. I was like, all right, let's go buy one. I'll go out there and just kind of wing it, basically, and kind of learn as I go, because I've never done it before. Now with you guys having these type of issues where the government's kind of getting into the play here in Michigan, when it comes to whitetail deer, at least, or just the conservation side of it all, we tell them things that we think needs to change, and they don't listen to us as hunters. Like and I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm not saying we know everything. I mean, but we're out there, the ones out in the woods. We know what's going on out here in the state of Michigan with our deer populations and stuff like that. We know what we think that needs to be changed, and we bring all that stuff up to them. And they're like, hey, we'd love to see this change. We'd love to see this happen. Do they listen to us? No. Basically, long story short, the question leading up to that is, here in Michigan, they basically give us a giant middle finger to us as hunters. They listen to what they want to say, or that they listen to what they want to hear and stuff like that. Is that happening out there in Montana, or are they actually listening to you guys as hunters out there in Montana and taking your guys' word for it?
It's super relatable. I mean, I have never, I think a lot of people are probably like, I'm not going to voice my opinion because it doesn't matter, which at the end of the day, I think it does. I think we've always
well, the biggest thing is we actually have a guy that's a landowner, owns his own ranch in Montana, just outside of Billings. He does outfitted hunts all over the country, Alaska, all over the place. And he also does public land hunting. And he tried to get on the board with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks a year ago or a year and a half ago, and they said he was overqualified.
What?
Really?
Overqualified and not let him on the board.
What the hell does that mean?
Who gets kicked off of it or not because you're overqualified? That's the stupidest. Then what's the point?
The point is they don't want people to have that much information.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it. I've always said that, like, and you guys just hit it on the head. You know, all these people that really know what's going on in the woods see it every day. My outfitter that's been doing it for how many years?
40
years, and has spent like pretty much his lifetime out there. He knows what's going on more than anyone that's going to fly a plane or a drone or whatever over to do management numbers. He's going to know. But yeah, I think going back to your question, I think that there is a lot of legislature that passes and you're just like, when was that even like talked about? When did we get a chance to even, and is that me being uneducated or unaware, or is that stuff that's just happening and they don't really care about what's going on? Right. I don't know. But there's also a point too, where the factor, a lot of Montanans are standing up, and a lot of like I'll tell you right now, there's probably people listening to this from Montana that hate some of the stuff that I'm saying. Right. Because again, they don't want people coming here to hunt. Right. So a lot of times that people are putting out the picture of, you know, they'll vote for stuff that mitigates non-resident stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, again, do I think there's some, I remember Sean, part of our team, he's in the construction industry, and he always told me about how like the term for them is there's always scabs in the industry. If you guys know what I'm saying there. Well, I think the same thing in hunting, right? There's bad resident hunters, there's bad non-resident hunters, right? I don't think everyone that's coming in from, you know, some other state is coming in and trashing our stuff and not following our rules and mishunting and stuff like that. I think there's some people doing a lot of good, but I don't know. That's kind of a big consensus thing, I think, for most Montanans, is they don't want anyone else to come here and hunt, which, you know, that's fine. But a lot of non-resident stuff brings in a lot of driven economy, and without it, you know, we may lose as residents opportunity without non-resident hunting. That's the true fact.
Yeah, and I don't think we really are sustaining that on our end.
We can barely have people in our own state to hunt. Why would people want to come to Michigan and hunt?
Yeah, I mean, they come here to turkey hunt and fish, and then black bear hunt, and that's probably the only reason to come here.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too that you run into now, does Montana have a large percentage of public land? Yes, but in perspective, there is a much greater private land sector, and I think you guys deal with that too. I could be wrong, where most of if you want to shoot big whitetail and stuff, it's primarily on private land, would be my guess.
Oh, absolutely. Around here on public, it's, especially during gun season, if you see a deer, someone's shooting it. It doesn't matter if it's spots on it or what. Now, private land, yeah, you can sit there. Oh, you know, that's a good 3-year-old. You know, we'll let him go another year. You can do some really nice bucks off of private.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we have big bucks. I mean, they're more scarce, but we do have, you're not going to see a 170, 160. I mean, you're going to see a lot of the bigger bucks are in the mid 100s too. I mean, there's some guys getting 130s. I mean, it's not often. I mean,
I had that one decent 12 on my camera that was probably 170.
Yeah.
And then I had that other funky looking non-typical that was probably almost 180, 190.
Yeah.
But PhD hit hard in my county, and everything's just gone.
Yeah.
Bitterroot root beer. Why did I say root beer?
Are you thirsty now?
Reaper. See, the dipping got kicking in, I guess. I don't know. Sorry about that, brother. To all, same thing, Idaho. FYI, the person that's commenting here, he's going to be a guest on our show later down the road, and he's from Idaho. It's a vocal minority. It's a vocal minority that has the ear of the legislator. It's ignorant and detrimental, to the IDFG budget. In that comment here, he says the current non-res draw system is testament to that.
Oh man! So speaking of non-res drawing out in Idaho, I called.
Hang on, Chandelier. Sorry about that. First time listener, I want to know what is your scariest experience you had while you were out hunting. Johnny, we'll get to go to yours first, and we'll get to yours, Chandler. Or Chanda, sorry.
Yeah. So I was able to draw 4 Idaho elk this year. Long story, but yeah, it was like a half a day event. You call in at noon Idaho time. They give you a number, and then you're on a waiting list. I was number 10,952. And it was an hour and some change wait. And then they're like, oh, yeah, here you go. Here's your chance to buy a tag. 30 minutes, go. And that's how the whole process went. I mean, it was frustrating as all hell, especially being non-resident. Because I'm like talking to my buddy in Idaho. I'm like, where do you hunt? Tell me the zones. Where are you? I should have had all that shit squared away at first, but I didn't. But yeah,
but how do you know what to expect if you've never done it before?
Exactly. But this year I put in for Idaho, didn't get it. I just put in for Arizona. You have 5 opportunities for there, so we'll see if I get it there. I'm going to draw out to Oregon this year and hunt, and then some other local whitetail hunts around here, out of state and stuff. But I really want to get an elk this year out of state, because I know in Michigan here we can hunt elk, but it's a once in a lifetime hunt. So you get drawn, you put in, you get drawn. If it's a bull, a cow, whatever.
And it's not like real elk.
Real
elk is out west. These are just elks that were
these are like whitetail
here
elk
in Michigan.
Yeah.
I've actually researched it before. It's very interesting. I think the first reaction was just like the Pennsylvania elk, is just like, there's elk here. But yeah, I actually kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, we have moose too.
Yeah,
that makes more sense coming out of Canada, right?
Yeah.
And we can't hunt them. It sucks. Dude, you'll see them and you're like, holy shit, that's a giant animal.
Right.
And
that's a once in a lifetime tag out here too.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Nevada in 2024, they had their first moose draw. They had 2 tags, and you're like, there's fucking moose in Nevada? Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
so here,
scariest moment hunting.
Well, hang on, let me post these some comments here about what you were talking about. Bittersweet. Bittersweet. Bitterroot root beer. I'm sorry, brother. I swear. To the comment of Chandelier, he says dealing with poachers on private land shooting at us. The comment. Cow shoot an elk in front of yard.
I'm going out there, Nelson. I will shoot one.
Bitterroot root beer. Damn it!
It's like state record, or world record. Archery elk was just shot in someone's front yard.
Yeah, I thought it was a scam when I seen that post. And they're like, in the front yard.
Like people with big money that, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, sorry. Go back to, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but
we'll get to Chandelier's question so we don't forget about our first time listener.
Well, yeah, I'll get to it right now.
As our butchering her name.
First time listener, I want to know, what is your scariest experience you had while you were out hunting? My scariest moment is when Pumpkinhead ran out of the fucking woods and started chasing me like a little bitch, and I ran into the house. That's my scariest. Oh, nobody laughed. You guys didn't laugh at that, really?
No, not funny.
I wasn't following.
Nah.
I feel like it was an inside joke, maybe.
Yeah. He's scared of everything.
I'm not scared of everything. I'm scared of Pumpkinhead.
And Jeepers Creepers, your dad scared the shit out of you wearing a Jeepers Creepers outfit.
He's also scared of waking up early to hunt too. So
I wake up early to hunt.
That's Riley.
Shout out Sean Morris.
Anyways, what's your guys' scariest experience?
Oh, it's got to be the gong or the rattlesnake. The rattlesnake's a good story.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing we do a lot with archery season antelope out here.
No, the one when you're up in the mountains.
Oh, you're talking about my scary. That one was pretty. I will say there's about a dozen rattlesnake stories because they're everywhere.
Riley's a magnet for them.
But we did have a. It's kind of funny you're talking about some. Is this like a paranormal joke you were having just a second ago about Pumpkinhead? Was that what that was?
No, it's something he's actually scared of.
I'm actually scared. So anyone that doesn't know, Pumpkinhead is an actual movie. It's nothing like paranormal. There's an actual horror movie called Pumpkinhead where if someone like kills someone that I know and they summon this demon and it's called Pumpkinhead and it goes and kills all these loved ones and the one that wanted the thing summoned, it comes for that person and kills that person and then that becomes a new Pumpkinhead for when someone else wants to summon up Pumpkinhead. It was a horror movie that my dad made me watch when I was like 9 years old and basically scarred me.
I thought it was going to go one way and went the other.
So what I'll say about our story is, first of all, that's Pumpkinhead.
That's Pumpkinhead right there.
If you are a guy that hunts or a woman that hunts and you're walking into your spot in the dark and you're not looking over your shoulder the whole time, you're a liar. That's what I'll say.
Good point. Yeah.
But our stories, we were elk hunting one time at the ranch, and it's a pretty desolate. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere, really, relatively, and it's timbery. I'm trying to give you guys a good, just idea what you're dealing with. Rolling hills, big. We call them coulees.
The night before was amazing.
We call them coulees. I don't know what you guys call them over there. Our southern friends might call them haulers. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But big, huge, deep ravines, timbered ravines. And like Matt was just saying, the night before was phenomenal, right? We were in the elk all night long. It was just him and I. And we were just in the middle of like 12 bugling bulls just going nuts. And it got dark before we could, make a move on them. And seeing them everywhere. The next day, my brother Ramsey here and our good friend Corey show up. And we go up to the same area. We decide to leave them at a lower spot, and we went to our own spot. Well, of course, we left them at the not as good spot, and we went back to the spot where there was 12 elk the night before, right? We get there, and I'm telling you right now, there wasn't a sound. There was no breeze. Nothing. There wasn't a bird. There was no noise at all, right? And you guys are going to think this story is complete bullshit, but we're going to tell it anyways. So it's one of those situations where the hair on the back of your neck kind of standing up the whole time. And we didn't know why. I mean, I didn't really feel unsafe. I just felt weird. Right. And
yeah, there was a sound one.
We decided we're like, this is weird.
We're there for probably 10 minutes.
You're like, we're leaving. So
meanwhile, I'm over here with our friend Corey. Right. And it's just, I mean, I kind of noticed the same thing, but not really. It was a little coyote walked like 70 yards away. I get this text from Riley, and the text reads, "Something weird going on. Keep your back to a tree." Then my phone dies. I'm like, huh. Well, this is and Corey's off meandering, chasing a beef cow because Corey is who Corey is. He thought it was an elk, but anyway, back to their side of the story because I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, so pretty much we left Ramsey, and I mean, he could have been in, I don't know, there might have been a killer around, who knows. Matt and I ended up going to a different couple of coulees, and the same thing. There's just nothing going on at all. And so we walked out, kind of sat down below this ledge, and all of a sudden, I don't even know how to explain.
No, we took the Ranger and we went way over to the other end of the top.
Yeah, and we get over there, and we're just sitting there.
And the Ranger.
And out of nowhere, the only way I can explain it is like there was a giant gong.
Well, have you guys ever been to Who Hot and they have that big gong outside?
Oh, yeah.
It went off like several times down in the bottom of the canyon.
Granted, the next like habitable building is like 15 miles away.
And like, it wasn't like a tree fell on a fence or something. It was the weirdest, eeriest thing I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And we ended up bailing out of there. and grabbed these guys and went home. And then we came out in the dark, and there was just all of a sudden animals running everywhere. There's herds of elk, which is just, you don't see, right? You don't just see massive herds of giant bulls and stuff just running through the middle of it was just the weirdest experience.
And like all of them were looking straight up in the
honestly
air.
Probably could have been nothing. We get, Matt saw the Starlink fucking satellites this summer and about had a heart attack, so we could just be full of shit.
Oh no, the first time you see that, you're like, oh fuck, War of the Worlds is coming. Like, that's just scary.
That was
bad because we seen that, and then there was like a planet where I've never seen a planet before. No shit.
That was some weird stuff. When you're out in the woods, either your mind plays tricks with you, or there is weird shit going on.
I do have one more story. So I wasn't with these guys, but I was up in the mountains where I public land elk hunt mostly. And it was, I don't know, it was cold as hell, and it was snowing. Like, you walk through the snow, turn around 30 minutes later, come back, and your tracks are gone kind of snow.
Okay.
Well, we were following these elk tracks, and all of a sudden you see all these little, they almost look like bobcat tracks, like little small cat prints. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So we went and looked down this coulee, and the snow had kind of let up a little bit, and looked down this coulee, like, all right, we got to go back the other direction. So we're going back the other direction. And in our tracks going into this area is like mountain lion tracks.
Oh, damn.
In our tracks, and it had followed us in there. And I was like, that's the kind of stuff that makes the hair on your neck stand up. And then they're like, there's this giant ponderosa tree, right? Like I'm 6'5", and I don't think I could have fit my hands all the way around this tree. And the tracks go right as soon as we turn around. You watch the tracks; they turn around too. Went to this tree, and I'm like, "This thing is up in this tree right now, and it's going to kill us." So, I guess we just need to get the hell out of here.
Man,
push your buddy to the ground. Yep, just push your buddy to the ground and outrun him.
I don't have to be faster than the mountain lion. I just have to be faster than you.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's why I carry a gun. You just shoot him in the leg and take off.
That's probably the eeriest, scariest thing I've ever encountered.
Now, have you guys ever seen that show or those documentaries, The Missing 411?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's Matt's favorite thing.
I love that stuff, man. And so there's not a day that goes by when I'm in the woods that I'm not thinking about that stuff. And like the David Platt, dude, I love that stuff. And I do. I mean, and growing up here in Michigan, like the whole Bigfoot and all that stuff. I'm a believer, man. Dog man. I'm a huge believer in that. And there's a movie out there, right? It's called it's got Mia Jovovich, the fifth kind, the fourth kind, something like that.
Fourth kind.
That's no Alaska.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
my scariest moment in the woods, right? I was in Afghanistan. I was in the sniper team, and we were going out on this mission, right? And it was just to overwatch this village. Nothing crazy. It's another boring mission, you know. And we're out there. It's me and my buddies. We're just overwatching this village up in the mountains. And that movie came up. My buddy Lyle's like, "Hey, you ever see that movie, The Fourth Kind?" I'm like, "Dude, I just saw it." And I went from like having our rifles and scopes onto the village to like slowly, like you're like, I dropped the rifle and just looking up into the stars because you know there's no lights. It's just stars as far as the eye can see. And they're just like, holy fuck, man. I know that there's going to be an alien coming down to grab us or something right now. Like all situational awareness went right to the sky because we're talking about that movie, man. And
yeah, we're just living similar lives in different worlds.
Exactly, right?
I got to ask you though, John.
Yeah.
So you remember at the end of that movie where it shows, I mean, throughout the whole movie, it showed like the gray, the black and white parts of the original parts of like the recordings and actual videos and shit like that.
Yep.
At the end, when they abducted the daughter and it showed the police cam video.
Oh, with the ship in the background growing up.
Yeah, and then it came, and then all of a sudden it like flared out, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that moment, along with the whole entire movie, do you think all those shit was real? In my opinion, I think all that shit was real.
It was loosely based on true events.
Yeah, I mean, I think the actual movie parts of it was, don't get me wrong, it was movie stuff.
They definitely exaggerated some of it, I'm sure.
But I think that whole situation really happened, and I think that fucking ship was caught on that police cam video.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
I thought
it was real.
So there's a movie out there. It's called September Tapes. I'm a lot older than some of these people here, but September Tapes came out. I first saw it in 2005 when I first joined the Army, right? And it's a movie about this guy who lost his wife during the 9/11 attack, and him and this other Pashtun goes to Afghanistan to try to hunt down bin Laden himself. And it's all like the first person documentary, right? And I'm watching it. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like, they found this footage. Clearly the dude dies, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they find this lost footage type documentary, right? I'm watching this whole movie, this like 2-hour movie. And I'm like, oh man, this is so awesome. End of the movie happens. And you're like, dude, that was wild. Like, that was somebody's real life. And then the fucking movie comes up, and the guy who played this guy comes out. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we had fun filming this," and they do behind the scenes. And you're like, "Really?" Like, I just poured my heart and soul into this movie just for a fake documentary. And that's so. Looking back at the fourth kind, you're like, I really want to believe that was real, but my luck, it probably wasn't, man.
I don't know. Maybe Trump will tell us in a couple of days how much.
I hope so, man.
He declassifies everything,
like those drones out there on the East Coast and shit. Fucking crazy, man. Shit's happening. Oh, man. Anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. We greatly appreciate it. I hope everyone out there watching, I know they greatly appreciate it as well. But here towards the end of the show here, we'd like to ask some rapid fire questions before we let you guys go, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So
Brett,
the first question is here.
Okay.
Did they pause? Is it just me?
You're frozen, man.
It's you.
I'm frozen.
Yep.
We can still hear you good though.
There you are.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Was that me?
Yep, that was you.
Yeah, that was you.
That was your dial-up. Your dial-up internet's going slow.
Your head was moving too fast.
It wasn't the pumpkin head.
Lines over the.
Yeah. Pumpkin head pulled the internet.
Anyways, all right. So we're back now. We're good. All right. Some rapid fire questions here for you guys. The first one is, besides hunting, do you have any other hobbies or interests?
Go ahead.
Fishing.
Yeah, you're big. Matt's a big lake guy in the summertime. He's got a pontoon. For me, we trap shoot. Ramsey and I are big trap shooters, and then of course, like I said, fly fishing and ice fishing is like our newest love. We've started doing the last couple years.
No hard water.
Do we do anything else? I got talking to a bowling league this year. Kind of been enjoying that, but other than that, it's pretty much we're all. Matt and I are business owners. Sean's a business owner.
Into trapping.
Yeah, Ramsey's getting into trapping. Matt's trapped his whole life. We try to do everything we can outdoors.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into ice fishing. Another thing of mine is golfing. So,
very cool. I've never golfed in my entire life. I should.
Don't start.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. Fuck off, Dave.
Yeah.
Next
You'll never be on the show again.
So Matt missed this earlier. Can you explain to him, just for Matt, real quick, real briefly, this tippy cow thing before? I'm sure he's heard of it. This just sounds like a Matt thing.
Explain what?
Your tippy cow thing.
14% alcohol milkshake.
Shamrock shake tasting. That sounds like
it's like rum chata, but it tastes like
I've never heard of tippy. I've never heard of it.
Our host is. Oh, there he is.
Never.
Sorry, we have a snowstorm going through, so if I'm cutting it out there, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we've made it an hour and a half.
I was saying, I'll trade you. It's like 10 below here right now. So
that's what it is here.
Oh, really?
So were you asking about tippy cow?
Yeah.
Yeah, what it was. It's basically an alcoholic milkshake. So we had growing up, we had like wine coolers and Zimas.
Zimas.
Tippy cow is this generation's Zima.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
That'll be on the shelf here before too long.
Yeah.
Most
of the guys that wear dresses drink them around here.
Adventures, and you're in for a good night.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
We're disrupting your rapid questions, though. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens every time. It's amazing. Okay, it's a very amazing drink. Very delicious. Delicious.
I bet Trump don't drink it.
It's McDonald's and
anyway,
Trump comes off to me as like a Miller Lite guy.
I don't think he drinks at all. He's not
never
alcoholic.
had an ounce of alcohol in his life.
Sounds like a Diet Coke kind of guy to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Next question. What wild game animal is on your bucket list to hunt?
Collective moose, probably.
Caribou.
Matt's a big caribou guy.
Red stag.
That too. Yeah. Caribou, then red stag, probably. Caribou, I want to go see the migration ones.
Moose. Moose
We're
is
doing
my
red caribou. What 26, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do a DIY deal here, next year maybe. Yeah.
Woodland.
The South Brooks range.
Yeah, I think it's woodland caribou.
Yeah.
What is a wild game animal you want to try?
To eat?
Yeah,
to eat.
And that's worth anything in the world.
Mountain lion. I've heard it's the best tasting thing on the planet. Like if you ask anybody,
I've heard that. Yeah,
I just watched a video where a guy ate a mountain lion and said it was the best thing he ever had.
I don't want to eat predators because I don't want to get trichinosis, but if I ate like someone cooked it properly, like Steven Ranella or something cooked it properly, even though he's had trichinosis.
It makes you wonder.
I've heard like people save it in their freezers for like fancy dinners because it's that good.
Wow.
That dude also ate javelina cooked in its own stomach.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess that's not a good source, but I will say I've heard it from other different outlets that it's delicious. But
actually here, I'm sorry, I missed a couple comment here. Want me to mail Bull Mountain Brothers some flavors of the forest for you guys?
Dude, please.
You guys gotta try this stuff. The flavors of Johnny, you take it.
Yeah.
What they are.
So I got connected with these dudes, Flavors of the Forest. It's a raw garlic dust, right? And they have different flavors. They have a spicy, regular garlic, lion's mane, which is my favorite.
Horseradish is mine.
The horseradish, yeah. But it's just like it's an amazing seasoning that goes amazing with wild game and fish.
Wonderful.
So after the show, after the show, we'll get your addresses and we'll send you guys.
Let's trade address. Let's trade address.
You guys are in the presence.
You send me your seasoning, and we'll send you. This is the Salsa King. We have a salsa. It's called High Country Salsa.
Ooh.
This is the guy. This is the guy that makes it.
And
you guys like salsa, and then
I love
seasoning
hot stuff.
Dude, yeah.
We'll get you some salsa. You send us some seasoning.
Yeah, we'll get you some seasonings out, brother, for sure.
Next question. Now we're at what has been your favorite state you've hunted?
I'm a Montana guy.
Not North Dakota. You didn't love your snow goose hunt?
No.
We've fished different states. I've never got to hunt another state.
I've never hunted another state either.
I think I'm going to say this, and this might be, I've got everything I need here. I guess I'm privileged that way.
Yeah, you guys really do. I'm jealous.
Is that privilege? I guess. Ramsey's put in for Coos deer in Arizona a couple times. Him and Sean have, and then like I said, we're looking at doing the DIY deal. I don't know. We haven't got a chance to do it yet.
Yeah, you guys got that privilege cards in your back pocket. Anyways,
the black-tailed deer when we were in Alaska was good though.
Yeah, I bet that was fun. You guys did black bear in Alaska too.
Yeah. Comment here before we get to the next question. Kyra, Riley's second scariest moment hunting was probably
all right. We got to hear this one. We got to hear it
real quick.
Left field from the girlfriend.
We can tell a story here, but I'm going to tell it not these two because it's going to go
our way of the story is so much better.
Though after
because this is kind of a traumatic thing for me. So,
oh man,
I was shooting at an antelope this fall, and my arrow it went low and
hit some sandstone.
It went under the fence. Okay. So I was like, it was into the neighbors. So I was like, I'm going to just run and get over the fence, go get my arrow. They wouldn't care either way. But I wanted to be quick because we wanted to get back into putting a stock on this antelope. So instead of, and I will tell you, since he's sitting here, Matt did say, hey, looks easy to go under the barbed wire fence right there. You should do that. And I was like, no, I'm young. I lost 50 pounds this summer. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling athletic again. So I use it was a brand new like galvanized steel fence post, right? T-post with barbed wire, 3-strand barbed wire. And where they're clipped at the post, I don't know if you guys have ever done them, but usually they're super tight so you can kind of walk it like a ladder.
Oh yeah.
He went over fine.
I went straight over, got my arrow, threw it over. When I was coming back, I did it differently for some reason. I went up with my left foot.
He had a foot on each side of the fence post.
So as I swung my right leg over, the fence, the wire broke that I was standing on, and the galvanized post went right into my leg. Yeah, like right, like it was within like a quarter inch of going straight up my ass. So these two had to, and I hit the ground and I put my hand down. And somehow I bounced off of it, which these guys keep. I was wearing.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Is that a testament of how good
damage?
Is that a testament of how good the Kuiu pants were, or was I just lucky?
He kind of flailed a little bit, the surprise of almost getting rectally inserted
on the colon.
I was a human scarecrow for all of probably 5 seconds, but
I don't even think it lasted that.
I reached back and I could already tell my pants were, of course, torn, right? I put my hand where my pants were torn, and it was just instantly my hand was covered in blood. Oh, so these guys get out of they come up to me, and I look up, and I don't know. Again, it was probably pretty embarrassing if you had been videoing it, but they look down at me, and I swear they're giving me this look of like, my legs chopped off or something like that. They're like, whoa, just relax. And I'm like, boys, am I fucking dying over here? What's going on? Like, am I bleeding out?
Am I dying?
I'm like, am I going to bleed out?
Dude, that moment you see your hand covered in blood, all horrible things flood your mind at that point. I know that for sure.
I knew first thought in my head, I was like, I know there's an artery down there somewhere. Yep. I hit that. Again, I think if it goes like in the hole that God gave you, probably bad things are going to happen. And then also there's another sensitive male organs that were very close as well.
Those are the ones I'd be worried about.
Yeah. So we missed all of that. We get to the cabin, and they're like, all right, this is very, very graphic, but they're like, take your pants off and let's see. So I bend over and I can see when I look down that I just have squirts, like just blood just squirting out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm screwed. Wow. I get in there, and then Matt's like, you're such a pussy. This is nothing. And he takes a picture of it, and there's like a 2-inch hole in my ass. And, Ramsey unfortunately had to get nice and close. He,
double barrel paint guy.
He's my brother, and he really, really had to experience something that probably didn't ever want to.
Let me remind you all, because it's a very important part of the story that no one thinks of. This is September, and it's 85, 90 degrees outside.
And he hadn't showered in 2 days.
Hadn't showered in 2 days because we're at a remote cabin.
Oh, wow.
So let's throw that out there.
Did tell him to go shower that.
Yeah,
right after it happened.
His hair a little bit.
I get in the shower and there's just blood pouring off my leg, and Matt's like, "This is nothing. There's people get their legs chopped off." I'm like, "All right, dude. All right."
Yeah. Trying to downplay it.
And I end up. It wasn't great, but it was a puncture wound and like that fatty tissue down there. There's nothing you can do about it, right?
Yeah.
And so these guys wanted
a big pimple that popped.
These guys, yeah, okay. These guys wanted to elk hunt the rest for 2 more days, and they didn't want me to go home because I drove. So I bounced around from spot to spot where they hiked out, and then I'd sit in the
one of those times where you really wish you had like a hemorrhoid pillow.
Yeah, for real. I sat in the side by side while they went hunting all day. I just sit there for hours on end, just praying that I had service enough to watch a TikTok here and there. And I put my hand down, like I just kind of like in my front crotch area, just blood for like 6 hours that first day, just every time I went down there. And then I went home, and that thing, my whole leg swelled up. Like it was like,
I was going to say, did you get an infection?
Well, I ended up so he's got a good buddy named Dan. He's like, dude, you should probably like make sure you're not that's a sensitive area to get infected. And so I went to the doctor. He said, you've been taking good care of it, but you probably should have gotten stitches. And I was like, well, we're too late now. And so I took antibiotics for 10 days, and I was down. Honestly, I couldn't work for like a week because it was so swollen. The pain from the swelling and stuff was the worst part. Like I couldn't like hardly walk. And so that was that. And to this day, they're just probably gonna make fun of me forever. But I had to come in.
I can send you guys a picture.
No, we didn't. We don't.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll post it on our website.
Yeah. Whitetail Advantage.
You're gonna get flagged and taken down. But that was my coming to Jesus moment. I thought I was gonna die for sure, but
Dude,
it was
that
probably
would
a little over dramatic. But that was that. Again, ruining your rapid straight question. But that was it.
Oh, I forgot we were on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. What is the next top state you want to hunt?
Idaho or Alaska?
Yeah, that's tricky because DIY or like outfitted, I would love to do an Idaho elk hunt or mule deer because I'm not even a mule deer hunter, but they do have really crazy cool mule deer hunting over there. If it was guided, like I don't know, maybe I've always wanted to go to Alaska and do like he was just talking about that black-tailed deer thing, but like combine it with they offer like halibut fishing, crab fishing, scallop fishing, like do all that together. That's kind of been a bucket list thing, and then go fly fish for salmon on one of the rivers. Like just do a big combo trip would be for my deal. I don't know about you guys.
Mine would probably be to go back to Texas again.
You did a hog hunt down there? Yeah.
I think really want to do an antelope hunt in Wyoming.
Yeah, one of it's known as the top antelope state, I think, in America. For sure. Yeah.
If you could bring one loved one that passed away to go on a hunt with one time or share a campfire with one time, who would that be and why?
You probably have.
Probably Del Camp for you.
No, probably Ray Catron.
Ray Catron, yeah.
Yeah, he was born in 1893 and died in 1993.
Wow.
And he lived next door to Frank and Jesse James. Used to go over there and have Sunday dinner.
Really?
As a kid, ran away at 14 and became a government trapper at 17 in Montana. Yeah.
That would be a nice guy to pick his brain.
His stories. I go over after school to the nursing home and just listen to him for hours.
Yeah, I would definitely do that too.
Here's what I would say, and I know if Ramsey could I want to say I definitely am a God-bearing person. I'm very thankful. I haven't had a lot of death in my life, thankfully. For people that are surrounded, my dad and my family is really the only hunter. And very thankful he's still around. He's a great man. But honestly, for me, it'd be very recent. I had a couple clients, a father-son that I've really gone to be really good friends with. Matt hooked me up with him for a couple years, and then the father just died like a month ago or 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, dang, I wanted to get one more hunt with him. They were just hilarious guys to hunt with, and had some really fun opportunities. But that'd be one for sure. Yeah.
And I think I have two. Not that you asked for two.
I think mine is probably your second one.
Would be Harry Allen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As the landowner that passed away, if I could get him at a campfire one more time under 100%. Video, would be outstanding.
I wish we had him on camera. The guy had the most fluent way to use the F word, and I just wish I'm starting to forget what it sounded like. It was so like no one had used fuck better than that guy.
No.
It was uncanny, really. But yeah, that one's mine for sure.
Last two here. How do you think we can get more people involved into hunting?
Well, I think everyone would answer that question as it starts with youth, right? Mm-hmm. I think that we've had a pretty good, since social media came out and stuff like that, I think there's a lot more hunters than there would have been. Now you still have a lot of people that don't want to get out in the outdoors, but I guess I would say is like, let's keep doing what we're doing, but do it in the right way and encourage youth and don't do it the old school way where you send them to the wolves and, do it in a way where it makes them turned off, or you kill an animal in front of them right away. Do it the right way and show them what hunting's all about. What really the core, hunting is never going to be about the killing. It's going to be
1% of hunting is the actual harvesting.
It's about the memories made, the spiritual stuff you go through and really just being in the outdoors. Being in the outdoors, you get experience stuff that no one else on earth gets to experience.
That's why it's called hunting and not killing,
So that would be my.
Well, I think like growing up for me, it was going to that deer tent, 20 below zero, and you get to drink your first beer, You're sitting with the older gentlemen in there, your dad, your uncles, and you're drinking a beer, and you're, 10, 11 years old, and you think you're a man now, And And that's the memory I have. I don't remember what we shot. I know we shot shit, but I couldn't tell you what we shot. It was the memory of just hanging out at camp.
Yeah, that would be it. Helping people understand what
more or less getting kids out hunting before they're actually able to hunt.
Yeah, that's a good.
So
point.
by the time they get to where they can hunt, they already know like this is a situation. They're looking forward to it. You know, Riley's 3.5 years older than me, so obviously, you know, I'm sitting in the back seat of the extended cab pickup, like, you know, pulling on the chain, like when's it going to be my turn? And I think that's what does it for me. You know, I'm always like, I'm always looking forward to like, this is my depression season right now, you know, because I'm just waiting for September of the next year.
Yeah. And I think a lot of what also comes from like the social media thing is the other bad side of it, where people are very picky on how they, you know, they really look down on a lot of ways. Like I think a lot of people look at like Onyx hunting maps and stuff like that, like as the downfall of Western hunting, because anyone can know where to go, what to do and stuff like that. But I think if there was more camaraderie in the industry and understand that we need each other to survive. And I think there's good avenues like this podcast right here, our podcast, your podcast, that can show you that we can all be friends no matter what different backgrounds we come from. We're all here for a common goal, and that's to keep our way of life.
As long as you're doing all things legally and the way you're supposed to do it, there is no wrong way to hunt.
Right. Exactly.
That's fact.
You know, last question here, kind of piggybacking off of that. What do you think we as fellow hunters could or should do to improve the hunting community as a whole?
Just have respect for one another.
Yeah, I think that and I think that like I wish we could have a public place where a lot of us could get together and share our stories without hurt feelings and understand each other more and work together. You know, all of us are probably doing some form of, I think like being like you as a hunter need to do conservation. Like I think most of us are doing it anyways, right? I don't think there was probably a time 20 years ago where there was a big push for like, you know, let's all help each other. Let's do conservation. I think we're all doing conservation anymore. Should we all do it even more? Probably. But I think that, like I said from the last statement, like we all need to just get together and just find a common place of like, you know, if we can't get along, if we don't progress the hunting community as a whole, then there will be no hunting community.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean,
because it's dying here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing,
our numbers are down.
The respect side of it, you know, a lot of out-of-staters that come to Montana that go with an outfitter, you never hear about. But it's like the out-of-staters, like Ramsey will be staying in a spot, hiking there 2-3 o'clock in the morning to get there. Here comes the out-of-stater, or even other guys that live in Montana walk in, they see him still walking on top of them, and they just don't have the respect that, man, I should have got up earlier. Where for like us, if I walked in and seen Ramsey, I'm going to turn around and go to a different spot. You know, it's having the respect for the people that beat you to the spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys, I don't know what kind of time frame we have here, but are you guys losing some of your hunting opportunities to deer clubs over there?
No,
that's not
deer. There's a few north of me where, like out by where I grew up, they call it the Bucks Only. And they do their own QDM, but it's not prevalent here at all.
I think the main reason, at least I'm not saying I'm young, I'm 31, but
you're young,
quote unquote, youth side of it, I guess. I'm still young. It's because a lot of places, like when I grew up in schools, they were teaching archery. But nowadays you look at it where, at least here in Michigan, I'm only speaking on Michigan alone, it's very hard to find places to go hunt on private land. And you have public land here. It's about medium, about worth the state, right? I mean, you got a good chunk here in like the Grand Rapids area. You got big chunk in the UP. Outside of that, I mean, they just made some here in the Pawpaw area, about 300 acres. So there's availability to go do it. It's what in my opinion is the hunters that were before us, they're phasing out of it, or they're passing away, and they have nobody to teach it to, and these youths don't have nobody to teach it to, being taught.
They have no one to learn it from.
Exactly. Yeah. And you get flooded with so much information. They can be like, well, damn, I don't know who to listen to or what to read and stuff like that. They just don't know where to go.
Well, I think a lot of the parents these days now are turning this as daycare.
And that's another thing. Yeah, it's social.
Instead of getting your kids outside, it's easier to just go, hey, go play the PlayStation for 6 hours and then.
Well, and having 3 kids myself, that's what they want to do. They're like, oh, can we play on our iPads? Can we do this? Can we watch YouTube? Like, no, we're going to go into the woods. Oh, and then they throw a giant fit. But once you get them out there, they love it. Like, I take my kids out hunting, fishing, mushroom hunting, whatever, just to get them outside.
I think that's what's great. I'd say so Brett Ramsey, we're probably the beginning generations of like the video game era and stuff like that. Like I'm going to sit here, like I played video games when I was growing up.
You still do.
Yeah, whatever. But what I will say is my dad got us out. Right. Yeah. So, like on the weekends, we were always going fishing. We were always going hunting, and we never had a complaint. He showed us a way to, come out.
Made it fun for us.
Yeah, it was always fun. We always wanted to go do it. You know what I'm saying? And it was never because like, oh, I want to go kill this or whatever. It was like, oh, I'm excited to see back then it was, we were even excited to see a little 4-point, mule deer or something like that, just to see it. Just get out there and it's like the ultimate game, I guess, like that. And I think maybe that's just the thing is, a lot of people aren't taking the time to get out in the woods, I guess. I don't know.
So like the other day, Dave sent a picture. He was out ice fishing. He sent a bunch of perch on the ice. And I showed my oldest daughter. I was like, oh, look at my buddy Dave's catching perch. My oldest daughter's 12, and she's like, can we go? Well, no, he's out fishing right now. It's an hour away. But I mean, we can get there by like 4, Dad. Can we go? I'm like, and then you're like, oh man, can we? Like, we could, but she is all about playing video games. But then you say, hey, look, we can go out ice fishing or hunting, and she's like, oh yeah, we can do that. Well, can we? It's like, well, yeah, let's go. But, I mean, once like the video games, the iPads, it's all like a default to them. Is what it pretty much seems like anymore.
Yeah.
Then you say, hey, we can go outside and we can do this, or we can catch fish, or we can ice fish, hunt, whatever.
Or even like Brett, he's taking up turkey hunting and he's going to be ice fishing this year.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Put down the controller, Brett. We'll go ice fish. Or shoot
like gravel clubs. You'll be hooked.
I don't know life anymore where it's not like, I will say since I became a small business owner, life's a little bit different. But I remember when we were working, we worked together or stuff like that. Every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're like, dude, what can we do this weekend? Like hit up your buddies. Like, what? I don't know a life outside of that anymore. Where it's like, I expect to be doing something like fishing, hunting, something outdoors every weekend. You know what I mean? And I don't know a life outside of that where I would say most people are opposite of that.
Well, I also got to look at it like this. There's another thing. It's like, what's the point of, like, I get it sometimes, like you're just being killed at work or you're just swamped. And at the end of the weekend, you just kind of want to sit there and just do nothing. I get that completely. But at the same time, it's like, get outside, do something. You look at it, come Monday, you're just like, I just spent my entire weekend sitting inside watching movies. And what did I do? Did I learn anything? Did I improve? Did I get 1% better in any capacity in my life? No, you sat on your ass and you just watch TV all day. So it's like, I need to be doing something to feel like I'm productive in some way. There's a difference between progress and movement.
Yeah.
And like, you can just be moving and be pretending like you're actually doing something. But in my opinion, if you're not progressing in your own life, then what's the point? And being outside doing something, I feel like I'm motivating my kids to do something. I'm motivating them to be outside, and just me being healthier as a person and being outside. And yeah,
that's my zen. That's how I de-stress.
Yep. I mean, you also got to look at it like this too. I have to deal with Johnny, David, and Squatch. I phone up the fucking phone all day long every day, and it's just like, I need outside to just decompress because I deal with the 3 most idiot people in the world.
Yeah.
I jokingly, I love these guys. But
100% window licker right here, man, for sure.
They do have different tastes.
Yeah.
Windows.
Yeah, they do. Thank you.
Bull Mountain Brothers, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. I know John and David does as well. For anybody that wants to follow your journey or reach out to you guys, how can they do so? Any chance they can follow along you guys?
So here's what I'll say. We're Bull Mountain Brothers everywhere, all social media. We do all the social medias. We do YouTube, stuff like that. what I'd like to, you told me we could shout some stuff out. So I want to shout two things out real quick.
Yeah.
It's outside of, I don't need to plug our other stuff. What I would like to plug is we talked earlier about nonprofit stuff. We are doing our 3rd annual turkey raffle hunt. So if you're listening here from Montana, get a hold of us starting in the next week or so. We're doing there's added prizes, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's going to benefit the Warrior Wishes of Montana. So yeah, make sure to keep looking at our social media for when that comes out. That's a big deal to us. And 2, we're trying to grow our YouTube channel. And so series that we have coming out, it's called Making a Hunter. It'll be coming out at the end of the month. It's going to be my personal journey trying to lose 100 pounds before next elk season, just to do the behind the scenes kind of deal, to see what it takes to get back in shape again, and then do it for the purpose of spiritually harvesting an elk. So that's a big thing that we're working on right now. So those are 2 things. Thank you so much, guys. This has been a blast. This is our first ever. We've been doing this for 4 seasons now. We've never been invited on a podcast before. So this was you guys took our podcast virginity here. So we're very thankful, and it's been a lot of fun.
You guys are more than welcome to come back for sure.
Yeah, man. We'll have you back.
You guys are awesome to talk to.
Yeah, thanks. We'd love to have you guys on ours someday. We'd love to have it.
Any day, man. Any day.
Johnny, David, where can they find you guys?
Dave,
I'm in my room right now.
See, you guys see what I have to deal with.
All right, you can find me on Instagram. That's all I have. It's Johnny_Nitro_night. I post a lot of hunting and cooking stuff on there. All wild game, fish, everything like that. That's the only spot I'm at.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I got my own YouTube channel, and it's the same PSE Mobile Hunter as on Instagram. So it's easy to find.
And don't forget our guy in the team, Squatch. Go check him
out.
Squatch.
Outdoors and more with the Squatch.
So let's take a second. He says he's out there plowing snow, but let's take a second. I think he's plowing something else, and it's not. It's
Guys, tell me about the Squatch real quick. I was looking into your guys' stuff. Seems like a great character. I was sad to not see him tonight.
Yeah,
he's a good dude. So, all right, here's a question.
He's the other old guy, so I don't feel left out.
Hey, we all have our regional gold guy. We had to bring him on tonight. So I appreciate you guys.
So you guys have seen the Squatch, right? Seen what he looks like?
Absolutely.
Guess how tall he is?
No, it's an insider joke. That's insider.
He was actually giving me 5'10" vibes.
I think he's a lot shorter than that.
Yeah, he is.
He's about 5'6", right?
6'7".
5'5".
Yeah.
5. I'm a foot taller than him.
Hey, you know what? He doesn't have to crouch when he goes under trees in the woods, therefore making him superior hunter.
He doesn't need the pillows for certain.
He's got his own saddle gear that uses diapers.
he doesn't need to get on his knees. Let's say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's say this.
Yeah.
He's the most humblest guy I've ever met. When I had him on the show once, I was like, that's the most humblest guy I've ever met and the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life. And nice guy.
Yeah, he is awesome.
Well, very cool. If we ever make it back, we'd love to meet him. But yeah, thanks you guys for having us on. It's been a blast.
Anytime.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to conclude another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. I just want to say thank you for everyone for tuning in for tonight's show. We greatly appreciate it. If this show made you laugh, made you think, gave you some good insight, please hit that like and subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure to go check out David's YouTube as well, as well as Bull Mountain Brothers YouTube as well. Now for some extra stuff here at the end, because we all like to save it for the end of the show. At least I do. The audio version of our podcast gets released on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5 a.m. So make sure to stay tuned up on that. We're also on Carbon TV. If you guys can give us a positive review, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're also on Waypoint TV as well. Now for a couple codes and get some discounts off here. If you go to Rec Broadheads, if you use the code WA15, you can get a discount off their products as well. Go to Bow Addicts. Use the code WHTADV10. Get 10% discount off theirs. Go to Flavors of the Forest and use the code Whitetail and get 15% off their products as well. Go to check out Magnus Broadheads and Grizz Media. Now, with that being said, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone for tuning in for tonight's show. We greatly appreciate it. That being said, put your quarter in the slot machine, and we'll see everyone Tuesday on our next live show. See you guys. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.